is up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition Wingin It Podcast Saturday edition. Jack, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good between two fantastic games. I'm doing real good.
Yeah. Sandstorm, what's up, man? How you been?
Yo. Pretty good, man. Ready to get back into the wizarding world.
Oh, man, already just talking trash already, man. You about to get us kicked off YouTube. You know, certain people don't like the fact that you play in that game. You know,
see,
get us kicked off.
See, they got him up out of here.
already started. They already got rid of it. Had to get you back in. God dang, bro. All right, so, the first thing we're going to talk about before we get into this week's stuff, I meant to bring this up last week, and I did not. So, if you are an Xbox fan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm sorry. Redfall is always online. Now, Sandstorm, me and you played Outriders when it came out.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a problem with this?
Yeah, it's a big problem, man. Oh, that's a real struggle. And you know what? I'll even say that the other part of that, the other problem with that is that because it's online, I don't know why, but it always seems to take even longer for patches to come out for games that are online because they're always online, you know. Yeah. And man, did that first patch with
it took forever to come out.
Oh my gosh, and it was horrible. Yeah. And that pretty much killed the game itself.
Yeah. Because I remember I had tried to play the Trickster, the one that was broken. Yep. And I'm sitting there waiting. I had to go pick a whole other character, restart the game.
Yep.
Pick a whole other character, and I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. So
I never went back to it. I just left it alone. I was like, I'm cool.
And here's the other thing too. So Jack, me and you, we played Back 4 Blood.
Yep.
And this is the part where everybody gets mad at us. And no, we are not hating. This is we're just being honest. Yeah. We're just being honest. Back 4 Blood, that we played one night, I shit you not, for an hour and a half, and for an hour of it, it kicked us out.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. I think we ran through probably tried to get through twice.
Yeah. Because the first time, we got through one full thing, and we're like, cool, we made it through it. Mm-hmm. We was getting ready to go into the next area. That's when the first time he kicked us out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we was like, all right, maybe that was just a hiccup, whatever. Because these things happen. We all know that. Right. Yeah. We go back into it again. We're playing. We're getting to the part where the boat is. It kicked us out. No, It kicked me out first. You and Brandon were still playing. Then you and Brandon got kicked out. And we were like, what the hell is going on? So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, okay. Okay, all right. I'm tripping. It's maybe I go out and I do a check on my setup to make sure it ain't me. I know Jack did one. I know Brandon did one.
Mm-hmm.
We come back, everything cool. We load it back up. We get to the same spot, right? When we get to the boat. Kicked us out this time so bad we couldn't even get back in.
No.
So
at all.
And then I go look it up. It's a known issue, and Microsoft didn't have a patch for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But couldn't find out the patch was due to it because they couldn't bring the game down. They couldn't bring the servers down to actually apply the patch because reasons, I guess, because they didn't say it. They just said it was a known issue and they're working on it. And I don't think, I didn't go back after that. I just didn't go back after that. Thankfully, I did Game Pass.
Yeah, me too.
So I didn't pay for it. So, because I would have been mad as hell if I paid for it. But
oh yeah, for sure.
Here's the thing. I want the game to succeed. I do, but that we talk about red flags all the time. That is a hell of a red flag for me if it's always online. I know in the States we don't have the IT infrastructure for that to work. We just don't.
Not even close.
Yeah, so I don't know why they try to push this because you might be fine if you live outside of a metropolitan area, but if you live in Montana, or you live in a rural area of Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia,
This game is not for you.
Yeah, basically.
I have to start doing those type of disclaimers. I mean, because it is really going to get to that point of if your speeds don't match this, then don't even make the attempt. Like, kind of similar to what they do with xCloud. Like, hey, you got to have a pretty decent setup for xCloud to work with you.
Like, if you don't have fiber, just don't even do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I ain't waste your time.
Yeah, if you don't have fiber, like if you're using satellite, you could try, but satellite, once that cloud cover happened,
right? Snow, rain, any of that above.
Yeah, any of that, So that's the thing that it's worse. And like I said, I already had my worries about the game because I was like, okay, something about it was just not clicking. Even though, like I said, I saw some stuff that I liked, and I go back to like I saw some stuff that I didn't like in that developer direct. I'm just like, okay, I'm getting some vibes here that I don't think it's gonna work. And then that came out, and then they said it was always online. I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again.
That's what I meant. Because of how they set it up, I know why they do it. It's just why keep setting it up that way. Because you want to make it to like, okay, cool. I'm playing by myself. Oh, there go my friend. Let me go ahead and send them an invite, and they can just go ahead and hop in, and y'all don't have to get out, jump into another mode. It sounds fantastic on paper,
right?
But in practice, it sucks.
Sucks heavily. Actually, it sucks heavily. And that's the thing. I'm worried about that. I know now. If you live in a metropolitan area or right outside, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah,
probably. More than likely. Hopefully. But I'm just saying, like, if you like in a rural area, I don't really know what to tell you, because that those are the type of games that is gonna be an issue.
Yeah,
I mean, because you're still dependent on other people too. So even if you're great, if everybody else is bad,
like if we're playing, like let's just say for instance, I'm playing in. Okay, like because my brother's back in Georgia. So what if he's back at home, visiting home, and we stay in a rural area back home, and I'm playing up here, and he goes on, he keeps getting kicked out. What I'm gonna tell him?
Right? Because the first answer is, oh shoot, the game is tripping. Like now, sometimes it's the internet. Like
sometimes it is. You got to run that down. You got to run that network test. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to run that network test, and a lot of people don't want to hear that, but the truth is the truth. So, I mean, once again, this isn't hating. This is just a thing that I see that I've noticed in a couple of other games that it went horribly for. And once again, I've heard Outriders is doing well now. I'm not ever going to go back.
No. And they had a DLC and everything. And I think we went over it and it was like, would you go back and go in to try this? And I was like, yeah, I'll go and try it. Never did.
Yeah. I mean, so it is what it is. So once again, if you're still looking forward to it, by all means, I'm not telling you not to buy it. Go have a good time, man. And hey, if you have a channel, let me know. I'll watch. I'll even give you some views. So if you like it, I don't have a problem doing that. I'm not hating. I'm just
forewarn you.
Yeah, I'm forewarning you, and I'm telling you what has happened to me in games that are always online. So there is that. That's just one of those things. What's up, Shadow?
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Good.
Yo.
All right. We just talked about the Redfall is always online. You got any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, man. You know how that goes, man. When it's always online, it's not going to be received well by the majority of gamers out there, just generally speaking.
Shadow. Don't talk about the Xbox people, man. Come on, man.
I mean, look, Xbox dudes is still Xbox. If it's not Call of Duty, they don't care about it being perpetually online. Like, I think that's the only franchise they can get away with it. To be completely honest with you, if they basically made a Call of Duty a perpetual MMO, and they just release DLC every year,
I wonder why
every platform to include Switch would be banging.
Jim Ryan said they can't run the Switch. Jim Ryan said it can't run.
Oh, and apparently. Is that like the Resident Evil 5 thing? Like it couldn't run the start screen on Wii?
Yeah.
Is that I might reduce the resolution to 480p and then maybe. I don't know.
Man, Jim Ryan said it can't run, and he knows. He clearly, codes for Switch. So he knows. He would know.
Yeah, I mean, clearly. Yeah, I mean, him and never programming a game ever and just being, I don't know, a plant as a corporate type. Go figure.
I really miss Sean Layden.
Man. Shout out to MVG for unblocking me, by the way.
Hey, man, y'all friends now?
Yeah, we can talk about programming. It's great. Like, I appreciate it.
Now? That's good. That's good, man. See,
I mean, when you start talking about C#, now people listen. Like, so go figure. Like,
bury the hatchet. I like that.
See, this is what I'm talking about. People see in the gaming community, people come together as one, like a 1970s soul song.
Maybe I can make it back on the Spawn cast. Who knows? Because I know I ain't gonna be back on Juice and Loose. Isn't that right, Sam? That's not happening. Bridges? Fuck it.
I Ludacris.
Is it Ludacris or is it? I don't know. Man. Tyrese. So apparently, all of them are going to be in Fast 10, and I just saw the trailer.
And Jason Momoa.
They are putting every action figure possible in it. Was that Jet Li with a beard in there? I don't know.
I don't know who that was.
Man, I haven't even been watching.
But they got John Cena in that piece. They got because The Rock's gone. So
they can't use The Rock because The Rock come on set. It's over for Tyrese. So
I'm just surprised that Jason Statham is back. So I mean that's the video gaming.
No, they're not mad at Jason Statham. They mad at The Rock. Well, yeah. Vin and Tyrese are mad at The Rock. Nobody else is really mad at The Rock.
But Tyrese was the only person that was on the board to be ousted because they were like, "Well, your character isn't really that
he don't do nothing
pertinent." Yeah, but he's still like comedy relief though. So they need.
Yeah, but you can use Ludacris for that.
True. That's true. That's true.
So you really got this.
Why are you trying to get the brother out?
I'm not trying to.
I'm not trying to. He tried to do it.
I ran into the dude. I met him here locally, so it's whatever.
He was trying to do it to himself. He wasn't trying to do it.
I'm like, bro, you got baby mama issues.
You might want to chill out, bro. So we had some sales figures this week. Y'all know how I never talk about sales, but
sales figure.
Yeah. So all right, remember that game we supposed to boycott? Bayonetta 3.
Of course.
Sold 1.04 million units in 2022.
So is Bayonetta the new or the old Hogwarts? So I don't know.
We're gonna get that in a minute. Hey, Sandstorm, you know your Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? You know how they told everybody it was N64?
Straight boycotting.
N64 trees.
I expect low numbers off of that.
You want to know what the numbers was?
Less than a milli.
20.61 million.
Wow.
Wasn't Arceus? I love this dude. I love Baron, right? But wasn't he the person that was talking about Arceus N64 trees? That game's so great, and then this game with more N64 trees.
And straight glitches.
Yeah.
Set Nintendo publishing franchise records.
It's like you're about to be the best-selling Pokemon game, and you run worse than all of them. How does that work?
That's how it works.
It's called 122 million user base, baby.
So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Y'all want to know what that one was at?
Man, that game just needs to stop selling.
Gosh.
52 million.
52.
You know what's sad?
I think that's
top.
Yeah,
it's still a smaller tie ratio than Wii U. Wii U is 70%.
Yeah.
Wow.
The ratio
8 million.
Yeah, so that's shy of a half. Yeah.
Smash Bros. Ultimate, 30.44 million.
Whew.
Who else is doing this?
Nobody.
Nobody. Platform.
So who is going on? All my fighting game enthusiasts, I need y'all to tell me what is the greatest selling fighting game of all time.
Ain't it Street Fighter?
I need you to do it. Hold on, and it's not multi-platform.
Yeah,
it's exclusive to one platform.
I thought it did, but I think Street Fighter.
Nah.
No,
I thought it got top.
Nah. And Mortal Kombat 11 only sold 1 million on Switch, so
right, yeah.
The best selling I think was Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah,
Mortal
9.
Kombat. I think that was the best selling one, and that was like 8 million. I think.
Yeah, that was now because before then it was 5.
So it tied Smash Brothers on GameCube.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
On GameCube.
Yeah,
singular platform on GameCube.
Y'all want to know what Xenoblade Chronicles 3 did?
Oh yeah, what's them numbers?
1.81 million.
I'll take that.
So y'all explain. So I would love for this to happen. Explain why this is an amazing feat, because I see a lot of people confused because they try to put this on the same vein of like a Mario and
it's a JRPG for one, and it's on one platform.
Yeah. Stupidly niche. Stupidly niche.
Even when Xenogears came, Xenogears was a niche game.
Yeah,
and it is regarded by a lot of people to be the greatest game of all time.
But them sales numbers wasn't up there. They weren't.
Because you're talking about people who like anime, so you got to cross everybody out. You're talking about people old enough to understand the game, so you're crossing those people out. You're talking about people who fall into that generation of those type of games, so you could definitely crossing out older and younger people at that time. So it's like it gets super tight on who's actually buying this game. So
and you got to remember with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, people was mad about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 due to the whole why did they sexualize all the female characters, and you're like, but for some reason everybody putting up ass shots of Uni.
Hey, cheeks.
Look, bruh. He pulled up to the McDonald's with her. Like, Zion is like, look, this is my babe, bruh. I gotta.
Right.
But I'm saying,
he let everybody else pick theirs first.
He did. He's like, oh, so you like Mio, huh? Oh, you stupid. Okay.
But yeah, I'm sitting up here thinking, I'm like, okay, people were literally pissed off about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because of that, and I'm like, they're not real.
No.
And women drew them, and y'all are mad. But the same people that was complaining, every time they got to a certain part of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, all I saw was screens of Uni.
Like, so Xenoblade Chronicles 2, right? You got a character that's literally a cat girl that's not even half naked.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
Gonna say
it's ridiculous.
2/3 naked.
Yeah.
Right? Like nipples and all, right?
Yeah.
And designed by a woman.
Yeah.
And this is what we complain about. And it's like, it's so sexist, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, then tell that woman she's sexist. Tell her. Tell that Japanese woman she's sexist because she designed that character.
And she gonna laugh in your face.
Yeah.
She only did it to buy into men. Okay. She only did it because she had to.
Clearly, that's the only
But if you ask her about it, she's sitting there counting her hundreds in your face.
Well, really?
Remember when they tried Kamiya? Remember when she who shall not be named tried Kamiya like that, and he brought her out, and for Bayonetta 2, y'all remember that? Hilarity ensued.
And that she's so over sexualized. I'm like, they cut her hair. They made her a badass.
It's a mature rated. It's an M-rated game. Like kids ain't got no business playing it to begin with. So that's that.
If anything, it should be men in droves saying the game is sexist because she is literally grooming a young child boy to become a god. Like, perhaps, if anything, we should be up in arms. But we're not
I was up in arms doing them combos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The hypocrisy of people being like, Nintendo's only a family kitty system.
And then
what? This is over sexualized.
Nintendo being a kiddie system stopped when your hat was made. Like, I mean, like ESRB was around. So as soon as that, Nintendo was like, bye-bye, here's Mortal Kombat 2. Boom.
Well, no, if you think it's still a kiddie system, play the first 10 minutes of No More Heroes 1.
Facts.
Man.
Facts. That puts that to bed.
Facts.
I'm telling you, they're gonna move that poll every time because now the argument is gonna be exclusive. But even then, you can look into the lore of their first party games and see it gets kind of crazy.
Nice.
Or you'd be like, it's grown up.
Eternal Darkness.
Try playing Bayonetta. oh, but it's not realistic.
I mean,
what?
Zelda is gonna always be something.
I was talking to Nintendo Prime today. I'm like, in Zelda 2, bro, Zelda is dead, bro.
Yeah, she's dead.
Like she's dead. They're talking about
like dead.
Sleeping spell, but it takes a whole ass Triforce to wake her up. She's dead.
She's dead. Like
she's not coming back.
Link was dead in Breath of the Wild.
Generations. She's the very first Zelda. Like, so if you remember the story, right? So Zelda 1, that wasn't the first Zelda.
No.
The first Zelda is in Zelda 2. She sleep. So they named every Zelda after her.
Every princess is named Zelda.
So Link at 16 goes to go wake up the very first Zelda. Yep. And she's been asleep for all this time until he goes to get the Triforce of Courage to wake her up. But she dead. If it takes a Triforce to wake you up,
you're dead.
The goddess's power to wake you,
you're dead.
I mean,
Link was dead in Breath of the Wild. Like, you ain't gonna tell me he just succumbed to it. No, he was dead. They killed.
They resurrected him in
years.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Arise, Link. Arise from what?
Yeah.
Sounds like death.
100 years. He was not in a spa treatment.
They said, wake up, Link. You were sleeping for about 100 years.
From that killing blow.
What? Well, I ain't wake me.
We did. Just took a while.
Yeah, about the shit was going on, Link.
He was in a lengthy hibernation. That's all.
Yes.
You were fed and you went to sleep. He had dare I say the itis.
Yeah.
The entirety of Hyrule was dead in Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Like they have no problems like leveling an entire civilization to provide the story for you. So it's not like
they just don't throw it in your face. And I think that's what people be looking for. The realism of like, oh, I saw somebody get something chopped off.
The death.
Like read, bro.
Yeah, well,
now you know better.
Well, the funny thing about that whole conversation is like, especially with Wind Waker, Ganondorf does some of the most evil shit I've ever seen because of. I hate you for making me buy one. Because like the sages in Wind Waker, he basically rips their souls out of their bodies, destroy their bodies, so they can't reincarnate and they're not technically dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is not Kitty.
You can't even look at one of the most greatest games of all time. And it's like, you go into the Shadow Temple, you see hands with no arms. You know what I'm saying? You see my man's the whole long neck, the dude who's walking around.
Yeah,
no hands. You know what I'm saying?
His name is Deadhead.
People are dead and they're coming after you. Nope, it's not
There's
realistic.
Blood
enough.
everywhere in the Shadow Temple.
It's not realistic enough.
Like they do it in a way to where yes, we know what it is, but they keep it at a rating level.
Yep.
So that way they dress it up the right way, so that way we can sell to the masses. That is smart.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is the ESRB don't be playing these games. That's all I'm saying. They just don't play these games.
Nah. They look at it for face value.
If it's not mature, then why did the cartridges after the gold cartridge have to get edited?
Yeah.
Oh well, there's a I don't know. They were doing these chants, and we just are offended by the chants.
Oh yeah,
but y'all took the blood out too.
Yeah, you took the blood out too. So
I don't know.
But they put the blood back in the Ocarina of Time 3DS version.
Yeah, the gore and everything, all of that.
I'm like they put that stuff back in. So whatever. But I say all that to say this: the Switch sold 122.55 mil.
122.
Bro, number 3, right?
Is that 10 mil off of DS? Isn't it?
No,
132.
No, they said it was 30 something, isn't it?
Well, no, it was for the fiscal year. I think they sold some more after that. For the fiscal year, it's at 122.55. Now they sold some more, but I don't think they added that to the fiscal year. This is for the fiscal report.
Right.
Yeah.
In one territory, they sold 88 million, and that's here.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
And here's the other thing too. So the people that's swearing up and down that there needs to be a Switch Pro and all this, y'all have never ran a business.
Yeah,
and I'll leave it at that.
Those 88 million I'm talking about that was sold here, they're the OG units. They're
not the OLEDs.
HAC001 and HAC001-01. Those.
Yeah.
No Switch Lite, no Switch OLED.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's 33 off of PlayStation 2 right now. It's because PlayStation 2 is at 155.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably going to catch that by the end of the year.
No price drops.
None.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
No significant bundles. Like the closest bundle you got was, I think, Mario Kart is almost essentially free.
and
That's
Animal
it.
Crossing.
I was gonna
But
say
Animal
they
Crossing,
kept
certain areas had the game, but the one I got didn't come with the game. You still had to buy it separately.
Yo, mind you, every single Black Friday deal was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Every single year.
Yeah.
Not changed.
So that's the only game they give away free to sell these Switches. So I don't know what else. You know, there's no other platform that has done this. Every other platform has had massive price cuts to get to this amount.
Yeah. You can't knock it. And like I said, I hear what everybody's saying. Yes, it would be nice to have something that looked better.
Yeah.
Ran better. Duh. But for business sake, if I have not dropped the price, I even dropped the product that cost more and is selling just as much as the original. Yeah. The one that's not doing so well is the Lite. That's the one people are not buying all that well. Yeah. So it's like,
but even then, that's like 11 million. That's not nothing to sneeze at.
Right. I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at. But when I'm talking about in comparison to the other two models,
more than the Steam Deck.
Yeah. Hey, don't do that. Yeah. People out here with Switch decals on their Steam Deck, and you make it any more obvious. But,
right.
But yeah, at that point, when you look at the fact that the OLED is
we Nintendo fanboys over here, we only play Nintendo. You know how we do right here.
Because at this point, if they get to that point to where they're dangerously close, and let's say they get ready to release the next one, I feel like that's when the price drop will happen.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, then now
we got to get it off. We got to get it off the shelves now. We got to get it.
And that's the one thing I tell people too. What they tend to forget: there's people out there that can't go and buy these things up front. So while everyone moved on to the next generation, the guys that couldn't play now, they're playing on the back end now. Because I remember whenever the PlayStation 3 came out, this guy came in and he was like, "Oh, I'm buying the PS2 and all these games because now they're on clearance." And he cleaned up. He's like, "I don't need the latest and greatest." He was waiting for everything to drop. So that's exactly what this is going to do. Because I
think that's what's going to happen with Switch. So when the successor comes out, it's going to be backwards compatible. Like, Nintendo literally has to intentionally fuck this up for it to not be backwards compatible. It's like a foregone conclusion at this point. Right? Even if they go AMD, they could still be backwards compatible. That's how fucked up this would be for them to make a new system and not be backwards compatible, right?
Yeah.
So with that being a foregone conclusion, the older system at that point, slash the price on that piece, and now everything that's on your eShop account or whatever transfers over to the new one or whatever. Right. All your NSO games or whatever transfer over, so you're able to play on either or, just like how the Xbox is with Xbox One and Series S, Series X. They're the same system. There's no change between any of those, and that's probably the best thing I like about the Xbox platform. There's zero transition at all between
pretty much. Yeah.
So
same OS.
If Nintendo does that, they've got a dynasty going at this point.
Yeah. They have to.
And just think, if people wouldn't have complained about Wii U being backward compatible, we probably wouldn't even be in this situation to begin with.
There it is.
Because they complained about it, and they were like, "All right, fine, we'll just do something completely different."
Bro, I was playing Wii games in 1080p. Like, what's the problem? It was upscaled. But you didn't have. There was no certain version. You didn't have to buy another version. You stick the disc in and go. And now nobody use the HDMI to play them.
Nobody was saying that when PS3 did that.
The PS4 with the checkerboard stuff too.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, come on, man.
But I will say with the sales numbers, one thing I would say to people that don't know, with the PlayStation 2, this thing kept selling after the PS3 came out.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't like it hit 155 and then they ushered it out and then the PS3 came in. No, this was still selling because the PS3 was hard as hell to get and was expensive. So people kept buying PS2s.
What was it? The baby PS2. I want to call it the PSTWO because that was like the PS1 was the PSONE. They made the super slim PS2. Yeah. That thing sold quite a bit too because you just flip the little top up and stick a disc in and you were good.
Guys, 1 second. Hi, Vicky.
What up, Vicky? What up?
Okay.
What up, Debo?
I ain't got my chain on today. You know?
Good. Got to take your chain. Come on, boy. Ride slow on that bike.
But yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, this has been a funny. This has been a funny. It's been a funny past week because of course Nintendo did their whole usual. We're gonna drop a direct with a day's notice on the week that I have to work nights.
Hey, only real ones
I
can
have to
do
work
it.
nights.
The same way like a Beyonce or whoever can just drop an album the next day and people go get it.
Yeah,
Nintendo can drop a direct and hey, you better be there.
Yeah,
like, dang, I'm working. I'll show it. I'll call off so I can watch it.
Yeah, basically.
Let me just say this for everybody in the chat right now. I was wrong. I thought that the direct, because typically speaking, they give it about a week.
Yeah,
after the fiscal results come out before they end up doing a direct, right? Because they've already briefed the investors of what money they're about to get, and it takes a little bit of time for after they do that brief to then say, "Hey, we're going to develop all this media and stuff to present for a direct," right? Apparently, they had all this pre-staged. So as soon as they went ahead and like, "Hey, here's our response. Hey, investors, you're about to eat. You're about to make some bread." I don't know if any of y'all follow stocks or anything like that, but Nintendo was down all week because they knew that these results were about to come up, and then their stock shot up in Japan right after they announced all this. And so the day after, and then they released a direct or whatever, and I'm like, that's weird and that's out of place for them because usually they take a week, like the previous weeks, the previous years or whatever. Regardless of whether it was the first or second week of February, it was after they briefed the investors and said, "Hey, this is what we plan for the next year." Then they wait a week, then they release the direct. So if it was at the end of January, they'd be like, "Okay, wait a week," and then the first week of February, here's a direct. Or if it's the first week of February, wait a week, second week of February, here's a direct. This year, nah. They're like, "Fuck that shit. Here it goes. We already have it pre-staged. Here it is on video." So no, I was wrong. All right, here we go.
Nobody was right. Nobody was right.
I mean, but Nintendo stays unpredictable.
Yeah,
they do what they do.
Yeah, they do what they do. So before we get to that, Sandstorm, you want to give us your thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah. Like I had to get my mind right for a second. So let me talk about the technical sides first before I talk about the actual game, because I don't want to make light of the technical sides of the game. This game is pretty dang demanding. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now, hold on, you got the PC version, right?
Yes, I had the PC version.
Oh, you flirting with death? Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Hogwarts is on PC.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
PC, Series X, and PS5 came out on the 10th.
I figured Sony had them like, oh, never mind.
Not quite, but I mean, if you want the most out of the experience, you would buy the PS5 version.
The PS5 version,
they spend the most money marketing it, so that's why I figured.
Yeah,
you get specials.
Yeah, stuff. You get a whole level too, like a whole two levels. Matter of fact, that aren't available in the rest for everybody else. So, and that's for PS4 too. So, if you buy a PS4 version. But anyway, so the technical side, this game is super demanding. I say it every time, so you guys know. Running a 3080 Ryzen 9 3900, I believe. 16 gigs of RAM. And I'm thinking that, and as a matter of fact, what's really cool is this game asks you, do you want to run the benchmarks? So it will set up like your settings for you. And after I ran the benchmarks, it put everything on ultra as recommended and completely turned off ray tracing.
No water?
Yeah. On everything.
What does that tell you?
On everything. And I tried to turn it on. I was like, yeah, no, I see why. I see why. If you wanted to run this game with absolutely everything, the recommended GPU right now is the 4090, if that tells you something.
Or 4080s.
Yeah. So with that being said, there was only one thing in this whole game that I said it had to have. If it had that, everything else will fall into place. One thing. There was nothing else needed. And that was to get the atmosphere right as soon as you walk in there. And that is exactly what they did. They got the atmosphere absolutely right, man. Walking in, you walk into the Great Hall. It looks like the Great Hall from the movies. You know, you see everybody sitting around actually eating food, not just like, you know, closed mouth, you know, doing one of them numbers, actually eating food. The food looks, the detail in the game is so stupid. It's ridiculous how crazy it is. Even with no ray tracing, the reflections look really nice. You get out into, when you actually finally like get out into being in the castle and everything, the population of students and teachers is real. Like there's just so many people walking around having real conversations. And the one thing I thought they weren't going to do, and they did it. And I'm like, yo, this is what makes this game. This is what makes attention to detail so great, is that you walk around and you're looking at the portraits, and like in my head, I'm only thinking like, only some of these portraits are going to move and some of them are not going to move. You know what I mean? Because that only makes sense, right? All the portraits that involve people, and actually even some of them that involve animals, all move. They all move. Every single one of them. And you like, whoa, this is starting to get a little crazy. You know, it's just crazy how much, and there's so many secret areas where there'll be like a portrait of something like this, for instance, and like the bird will start flying and it'll start flying towards you and it ends up opening up into a door and you're like, whoa, what? They for a studio that everybody was knocking pretty hard right before this game was coming out, they acted like they were like the AAA studio to come to. Like it's, and I'm only talking about the inside. When you get to the outside area,
I ain't got that far yet.
Oh my gosh, the attention to detail is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd that how you thought it would be is actually how it is. You know what I'm saying? I love the wand combat. I like how my man's is slick with his wand. Spin around. You know what I'm saying? The controls for that are all great. But once again, I'm gonna have to go back to it. It is really demanding. So there'll be times where like you walk around a corner and it's populated with a whole bunch of stuff and it will go down to a crawl. And it'll be like, okay, now bring it back. You know what I mean? Okay.
That makes sense though. That makes sense.
Yeah. Does it bother me? Not at all. It doesn't bother me in the slightest because I'm already in a world that I want to be in. So, and I want to say that too, because this is a heavy thing. I'm glad Shadow's on here. This is a heavy thing that really, really, really needs to be said. And I think this is probably the most opportune time, especially because it's a fan-based game, is that when you expect things as a fan and a gamer at that, a real gamer, numbers should already not matter. But numbers really should not matter when you are really focused on a game that you really are trying to enjoy. You see what I'm saying? Like,
how dare you?
Yeah, you can't go into a game like this and be a real fan and be like, well, what are these numbers looking like? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? What you talking about?
Excuse me, sir. I resemble that remark.
Right. I mean, you got a point.
On Twitter, there's a dude that's complaining about the frame rate and the resolution of Octopath Traveler. Like, what are we doing? Like,
I just laughed at that.
They don't have anything else better to do. I'm telling you, that's how you know people are bored.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's a pointless. It's the same thing with like like if you're a Star Wars fan or if you're a Star Trek fan and they make a game for you, the last thing in the world you should be worrying about is what do these numbers look like? I need to know what this resolution is. I need to know if there's HDR. Where's the ray tracing? Nobody cares about all that.
If EA doing it.
You wouldn't know if they told you.
Different, yeah.
You wouldn't know if they told you. If you're a gamer didn't have the money to fund Digital Foundry, nobody would ever know.
Yeah, nobody would know. Yeah,
it doesn't. None of that matters. So, like me going into the game, yeah, I'm having massive stuttering. You can see it on my live streams. But there's never a time where I'm like, whoa, this completely took me out of the experience. I need to change this. I need to change that. Now I have changed it on the fly. From DLSS, I think I had it in performance, and there's actually ultra performance on there, but I didn't want to go that low, so I just moved it to auto. Let DLSS work it out itself. I don't care about none of that. Let you do your job. That's the job that you do. So, but with that being said, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is actually speaking really highly of the game. Until Breath of the Wild comes out or Tears of the Kingdom comes out, this is my game of the year, bro.
Okay.
Like it's.
Okay. How dare you besmirch the name of Octopath Traveler 2?
I'm sorry. It's just how much detail they like the facial alone. I don't know if y'all seen the video of me first playing, like jumping into the game, but the creative character is my god.
They did a good job.
I watched that. I watched that.
Oh my
Dude
goodness.
had a glare.
Yo, my man was like,
He had the FAFO glare, man. He had the FAFO glare.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The creative character was actually pretty. I was surprised it was that good.
Yeah,
I'm sold. You got a good creative character. I'm sold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you'll have fun. It's just like I said, even outside of the creative character, how they treat each of the characters in the game, the movements, the ghosts in the game. You could follow them forever and a day. And I do like. So there's some small things in there. And Jack, I don't know if you've really noticed this, but they lock off the castle to you. They don't provide you with the whole castle. And at first I was like, dang. Yeah, I was like, dang, that really sucks. But actually, if you think about it, when you play in that moment, you get lost anyway. Like with the amount of castle they do give you, you already get lost. So
immediately.
Yeah. And they block it off by spells. So like you have to Alahomora a bunch of the doors and stuff like that in order to unlock them. Haven't learned that spell yet, but that's how they keep you from staying grounded in the game. They only provide you with certain things, and even like the grand staircase, in the movies, they always move and stuff like that. And at first I was like, I can't find a grand staircase because I'm looking for that, the moving staircase. Come to find out, the staircase moves, but it's more in a spiral direction. But if you think about that too, it's like at first, when you first do it as a fan and the staircase moves, you're like, oh, this is dope. Like, I'm going to another area, but I wanted to go up here, but that's okay. That's dope. But how many times are you going to do that and the staircase move on you and you be like, yo, I was really trying to go up there. But now I got to go all the way out of my way or wait for the staircase to turn back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there were certain things that they changed, but they changed it for a good reason.
Okay. All right. So
Jay, is the podcast canceled yet?
Almost. We get.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that because you didn't mention nothing in your review, sir, about the nastiness with this game.
You mean the politics? I could care less about the dang politics.
Look,
don't even.
I mean, you didn't have all once.
And a spoiler, and I had to hear it. There's a moment at Hogsmeade, and I'm not even going to ruin it for you. There's a moment at Hogsmeade where you meet somebody, and they're political, but they never tell you they're political. You just have to hear them, and you're like, wait a minute.
Is it Jack the Ripper?
No, it's not. No, it's not him. It's somebody else. It's somebody else you meet, and you're like, I must be. No, I'm not hearing things. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Snake.
No, man, he's make Hogwarts great again. All right. So all hate mail needs to be directed at sandstorm@gmail.com. So as you can see, the title of the episode is $70 and more. So let's go on and talk about Zelda being $70. And what the hell do you think I'm gonna do? What's that gonna do?
I mean, we already know you a Zelda whore, so you gonna buy it.
You know what?
I like that.
The last podcast.
Yes, you're a Zelda whore. Yes.
Real
That should
quickly,
be.
real
We
quickly.
should caption that. That should just be a YouTube short. We just say that repeatedly. I'm a Zelda whore. Like just.
I like that lore too much. I'm not gonna not play that game. So
No. See, Jay gonna be if Jay couldn't get it, he'd be out like Tyrone Biggums. You got any more of them Zeldas?
I'll play your game.
Scratching biscuit ass.
Gotta do it.
So I'll be the first one to tell you that I was the person who was like $70 PlayStation 5 games. Dang, sucks to be y'all because I ain't really buying for nothing. But with that being said, am I buying a $70 Zelda game? Absolutely. No. And you can call me out if you want to. I don't care. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I look at it as two different ways. Mm-hmm. Now, over here, you have PlayStation 5 games that are $70, and they also provide you the same game on the last generation for $60. And what is the real difference between these two games?
Not a damn thing.
Exactly. But when I'm thinking about Tears of the Kingdom, and I kind of shudder to think about it, was a DLC.
Yeah,
it was a DLC, and they took a DLC and was like, let's just soup it up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they kept adding stuff. According to Alnuma, they kept adding stuff, and it just became a game.
Yeah. So you are providing me an expansion DLC part 2 of the greatest game that you already made right after this one. $70, an extra $10 for that? Nah, I have no problem with that.
Here's the thing, and this is going to be probably the last time I say anything about this. I'm a grown ass man. I work for a living. If I want to buy something, I buy it.
No pocket watch.
Yeah, if I want to buy something, I buy it. What I don't understand is I have to go online and declare to the world that I'm taking a stand.
So,
no,
that, right?
No,
so,
you're not. You're not taking a stand. You're just because, and I'll say this. I remember when people said, "I'm not getting the NSO." How dare they? How dare they charge for the get? And I see the same people every Monday. Every time I'm on Smash Bros. They there. How you get it? I thought you wasn't buying it.
Y'all playing Game Boy Advance games? How you do that?
How you do that?
Because there's only way to do that. Not only do you got NSO, you got the extra.
You got the expansion pack. So that's what I'm saying. Like we got too many people quick to just blurt out their business and then be
I mean, should I go down my friends list and just out people or
no? It ain't worth it. It just ain't even worth it. It's just like because I see I'm like, okay, I get you upset, but don't you got a job?
But even if it was this so
if you want to buy something, buy it.
Exactly. Like we've been talking about this since like not EA, but 2K and the rest of the crew took over with the $70, and Sony was being hinted at doing the same thing, which eventually they did.
Yep.
So if you've been gaming long enough, you've seen to where we had the era of you just didn't know what the hell the game was going to cost with and then after a while we started getting some form of standard.
Yeah, because
we went to 50.
49?
Yeah, we went from 50 to 60 and now get to the 70 marker. And here's the thing, like I would love for developers to be more transparent as into what it takes for these games to be made. But a lot of people are speaking off of ignorance because the first thing they want to go to is, oh, well, if Sony provides a 4K 120 hertz, this, that, and the third game, and that's $70, then Nintendo shouldn't have any chance of even charging $70. They're not even in the same realm because
resolution doesn't determine that.
It doesn't determine that because you're not even factoring research and development. You're not factoring what all goes into the game because let's be honest, when it comes down to games evolving, Zelda may not have been the first to do a lot of things, but they ushered in and made sure that this game was heavily detailed. You have games that are nowhere near that get charged $70. You're paying $70 for incomplete games. So how are you going to factor in resolution and you pay $70 for a game that wasn't even finished? But then
hold on. How are you going to factor in resolution when you have a performance mode that drops the resolution
Yeah.
to maintain 60 frames.
Right.
On top of that, like developers are already making the game at a higher resolution than what you end up playing with anyway, because they have to take the art and then scale it down.
Yeah,
like you got 1080p assets for Super Mario 64.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this again: 1080p assets for Super Mario 64 ray traced,
and Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Remember they did that
they
too.
take that and then they dumb it down to make it a playable mesh to put inside of a game. So it's not like they haven't already done the work.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about Breath of the Wild, blah blah blah, you think they aren't taking 4K assets, or they're developing with 4K, 5K assets on these Macs or whatever, and developing these art assets, and then taking them and making them compatible with Switch? It doesn't matter. Like they're still doing the work. They're still going out here and taking all these high resolution texture shots or whatnot, and putting them in the game. Whether they shrink it down or not to fit it within the palette of the Switch doesn't matter. They still did the work and spent the money to make that happen at a higher resolution and then brought it down. So if they spent that money, they spent that money. And people don't understand. They're like, well, it has to be in the game. No, motherfucker, you don't know how games are built.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing about it. We've been saying for years that a lot of these games need to be above 70 any damn way. Remember?
Sure. Yeah.
Because they spent so much to make them. So now y'all want to complain. And to be fair, the whole $70 game conversation, dude. Our good buddy Miss K, how she said, this is not a cheap hobby.
No, expensive as hobby.
This is an expensive hobby.
Yes, it is.
Expensive, but cheap compared to other hobbies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
golf is not cheap.
But in and of itself, though.
Man.
But the thing is, in and of itself, it's not a cheap hobby.
No, it's not.
If you sit up here, because that's the big thing when people be talking about, they don't have this and that game. I'm like, dude, we didn't know about Metroid Prime Remastered. There is Octopath Traveler 2. There is Tales of Symphonia Remastered. Digimon. That's just this month.
Yes.
We had that one. I'm like, dude. So we're not even talking about March. We're not talking about April. We get more games per month than we've had, and God knows how long.
So should Nintendo act like Sony and make Metroid Prime Remastered $60? Because that's what they did.
That was my thing too, because they didn't do it for 60, and that's what people were like, oh, we were expecting, and it's getting this high praise. And then the crazy thing is, with the hypocrisy with all of this too, you look at Sony games being at 70, and people say, okay, well, it should be at 70. But then you realize that, oh, well, the games are not selling like they should be because the money that they put into it. So that's why the shit's over on PC anyway. And then you factor in now, you look at Nintendo making this announcement. Didn't they just say they were giving a 10% increase to their employees because they want to make sure they secure the workforce? Yeah. Y'all would have been pissy had they dropped it and then also dropped workers. Nintendo, they throwing people away. They're making them, they taking away their jobs.
Yep.
Find something else to be mad about because it's very stupid.
Well,
very stupid.
There is also another path that people can take to get this game without paying $70 for it. Mm-hmm. If they, for those that are getting it digital anyway, they have the game vouchers.
Yep.
$200 for $100. That means you can get that game for $50.
Correct.
$50 officially, not pirating, not stealing, nothing.
Well,
$50 officially if you go digital.
Personally, I'm just gonna tell y'all what I'm
believe in Steam Deck cases, and they just want to show you they dusty ass Steam Deck, and that's how they say $40.
Look, all I'm gonna tell y'all is what I plan on doing. I plan on emulating the game on my Steam Deck that doesn't exist.
That's another thing. I've got to ask though. I mean, if you have a Steam Deck and you've got all these other games you could be playing,
why are you getting?
Why are you focused on the company that you say does the least amount of work and is the most worthless to play their stuff?
That's why I made that tweet. That's why I made that whole tweet to begin with. I said if Switch ain't good enough, if Steam Deck is better, if Nintendo ain't got nothing to show after Breath of the Wild or whatever, why y'all all up in their mentions? Why they all up in your head? Why you keep using Nintendo Direct as a hashtag? No, leave them the fuck alone. You said a long time ago, well, Nintendo isn't following the tech, so I don't want to. Okay, they're not following the tech, so you're not interested. They're clearly not going to, so leave them alone.
But maybe Nintendo isn't following the tech, and the tech is actually following Nintendo.
Why'd you
they
say
said
that?
A long time ago.
Why'd you say that? Now we're gonna get down. Now we're gonna get downvoted.
Well, because I said something that people don't want to look. I said the thing that hurts people's feelings. I don't give two craps.
I'll type it in the chat in all caps.
Look, if anything, if we ever follow any patterns, pay attention to any patterns. Nintendo does something and it becomes successful. Everybody else attempts to do it. They attempt to emulate. They attempt to copy it.
Developer direct anybody? State of play anybody?
Motion control.
I mean, that's just how it's been.
Would have showed up if the Wii wasn't successful.
Yeah,
none of that would have showed
up. Everybody hated motion controls, but y'all love it with VR,
yes.
don't you?
Yep.
But now it's
funny how that works.
Playing VR.
Funny how that works.
If the Wii Remote Nunchuck did not sort of perfect what motion controls could do, there would be no motion controllers for VR.
None.
Correct.
None.
Correct.
Which reminds me, I kind of wish I kind of had my Wii Remote Nunchuck. We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you because I tried that and I'm like, oof, I'd rather Wii.
So matter of fact, you know what? Let's turn this into a more lighthearted and happy podcast now. I played Metroid Prime Remastered. Who else played?
I haven't yet.
I haven't grabbed it yet.
Okay, so I'll start this one off. Well, no, you know what, Jack? Since you, because I'm a Metroid.
We've all played the game, so
yeah. So
I haven't.
Jack, because this is your first time, right? This is your very first time, right? All right, your thoughts.
So when I went into, first of all, when I saw the announcement and we were waiting on possibly each an individual game or we were waiting on a trilogy to come through. Mm-hmm. So I was one of those similar to the whole Xenoblade Torna situation. I saw the trilogy on Wii and was like, I can wait. That shit disappeared. And I was like, okay. So I was like, damn, all right, GameStop. But now with this remaster, I got an opportunity to pick it up. So I picked it up the night when it came available. Now I went in with the dual stick first, and then I went and tried the whole gyro thing, and I was like, immediately, no, I'm not doing this. And I saw there were other ones, and I don't have a GameCube controller, but I don't know if it felt like this when you all played it on GameCube, but this game just feels smooth. Like everything just feels smooth. It feels like everything just works. Like I know people complain with Metroid a lot with the backtracking, but so far what I played, it doesn't bother me. Like I'm really just kind of moving around in the game and excited to play it and try it and scan everything. Because I remember y'all talking about that. Like if you really want to know what's going on, you have to. You
got to.
Yeah. And
they even mentioned in the direct that hey, for you to know what to do next, you need to scan stuff.
Yep.
So I mean, me playing Dread and then I've played Fusion. I am familiar with Metroid, but then playing it from a first-person perspective, I don't like first-person games. But the fact that it's different, and I don't know how. So, like, no one, and this, like I said, in this case, no one can call me a stan. Right? Like, no one can call me a stan because I don't get into Metroid like that. So, for this to be the first-person shooter that I played, and I'm like, hey, I like this. Like, something just feels different. I can't tell you. I really can't. So I'm enjoying it so far. I think I just got to the second level right now because I got the first part. Of course, like Metroid, you got to run out while the time.
Oh yeah, you got to get out that frigate.
I was like, so I'm assuming this is like a staple thing. Like, hey, come in here with all your powers. Time running out, shit's about to blow up, and then
that's not how all of the games work, but
that's how the majority.
From Super Metroid on, pretty much.
I was like, okay, so this seems to be a trend. So, but going into it, and then like I said, I saw some of the comparisons people were putting up for the GameCube version or even the Wii version to this, and I'm like, damn, okay. Like I don't see how you can call this a remaster. Because now I'm kind of confused as to what these terms mean because
I would. Technically, a remake is a remaster. It's just the code was rebuilt.
Yeah,
like
they had to go in the hard code. Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII remake, they had to go through that code.
Of course,
that code. Yeah.
Like a remaster, it qualifies as a remaster for the same reason a remaster of like a digital or analog work is. Like you're converting it to a new medium, right?
Right.
So, but in converting it to a new medium, we had to regenerate code. We had to regenerate art assets. We had to deal with a completely different software development kit to make this. Like they basically rebuilt the entire game. So essentially, what we're playing now, or what I will be playing when I download this later tonight, is a remake. It's they call it remastered, but Nintendo is fast and loose with what they call those, because every remake is a remaster, but not every remaster is a remake.
Right.
So that means technically, for all the people that hated on the Skyward Sword HD, that is technically a remake.
Yes, because
they had to go through and change several
programming.
Yeah. So I mean, nonetheless, I mean, honestly, because I haven't gotten deep into it, because I picked it up because they released it kind of late.
They did.
So I mean, I went, played a little bit of it, and then of course, unfortunately, being an adult plus Hogwarts made that worse. But definitely, after we get off of here, that's what I plan on jumping on before I even get into Hogwarts, because that means the whole story thing, and it's something you got to dig into. But yeah, I mean, first person adventure is a good thing to me at this point. When we look at Nintendo and how they usher in things, my first question is, why is this not being replicated? Because this just feels, I don't know, it just feels different.
It's going to be.
There was a game that attempted to replicate it. It just didn't turn out the same way because it still leaned on its first-person shooterness.
Yeah,
that was technically Halo 4.
Okay.
So the other reason is you pick and choose development time, right? So if you're going to make this and you're going to spend your time making this when you could have spent time making a brand new game, is it worthwhile for return on investment? Obviously, they wanted to do this anyway because they're trying to do this lead up thing. Hey, here's this nostalgia trip before you play Metroid Prime 4. And so as the rumors go, and this would make sense if it's true, I don't know, because Emily Rogers is all over the place. It depends. A lot of times she's right, a lot of times she's wrong too. So it just depends. But per her story, they were working on this in 2018 or so, back when they knew they weren't developing Metroid Prime 4. So their whole goal was to release that in 2020 or 2021 or something as a lead up to Metroid Prime 4. So, hey, you trust us? We're retro. We made Metroid Prime Trilogy that none of you motherfuckers bought. So here's a remake of Metroid Prime 1, and then you guys can go and play this Bandai made Metroid Prime 4 or whatever, right? And that'll help sell the game. That was supposedly the internal
I don't really how that was believe that, happen. But okay.
I don't know how much of that is accurate, but that's so say of the rumors. Yeah. So that's how it was supposed to go, and they end up holding on to it because of 2020 or whatnot, and then they end up releasing it or whatever. Apparently, this game has been sitting, waiting to get a code to go on eShop for over a year.
So actually, it's supposed to be all three of them. Was supposed to be waiting. Here's the thing with that. Nintendo does not release a remaster without a reason. Definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles with Future Connect. You want to know why they released that? Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes.
Skyward Sword HD. You want to know why they released that? Tears of the Kingdom. This got released because it's probably going to connect back to Metroid Prime 4. Yep. In some way, that trilogy is going to connect back to Metroid Prime 4. So they don't release remaster. That's why because if that was the case, they just remaster everything. Why not?
Yeah, it's usually a reason for them.
Yeah, they're not willy-nilly about it. So there's a reason for this. Now, me personally, I went through, and I am a Metroid stan, so I went through and played it with each of the control schemes. And I will say this: the hybrid, which is what gyro is, I don't mind, but it's not like the Wii Remote and Chuck. So if you're thinking that it's going to be like that, it's not, and it's going to take a little getting used to. Me personally, I prefer either dual stick or GameCube.
But that's classic. So crazy to me because we've made this statement a few times. Like gyro's cool, but it's still not close to the Wii Motion Plus. It's close to which is Plus, now I don't know if it's just signal situations because we had a little bar. I don't
signal. It's the signal. Okay. I'll tell you right now, it's the signal because we don't
have.
It's
definitely the signal.
That shit was smooth. I'm like, with gyro is cool because like even now, like as much as I love Splatoon, if that had motion opposed to gyro, night and day difference.
Oh yeah, night and day difference. Yeah. So with me, just the overhaul they did with it is amazing. It's chef's kiss. Especially when you run through the frigate and you run into Meta Ridley the first time, that looks great. I haven't gotten to Findrana yet, so I'm waiting to see how that silhouette looks. Because and Shadow, you know about this. When he's flying over and you see how big he really is. Yes, they made him small in Smash. He's not that little. He's freaking huge. So the people that wanted him in Smash, they put him in Smash. He's that big. No, that's not Ridley's real size. Ridley is a space dragon that is ginormous.
At this point, Ridley is an army of space dragons.
Basically, especially if you go by what they tell you in 2 and 3. So I am enjoying the smoothness of it, especially like dual stick. For most people now, you're probably going to go with dual stick because that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
It is a smooth experience with dual stick. Once again, I played it on GameCube when it first came out, so the GameCube control option is smooth as well. It just depends on how you're feeling that day. To be honest,
my only problem with that is if you're doing dual stick, you're not going to be fast enough to switch between the visors. You're going to have to take your hand off the stick to. You
can, but you just have to be fast. That's the only way to tell you, man.
So I hadn't gotten to that point, and I heard somebody else mention that, like you have to hold with X, and then press whatever.
Well, the thing with the visors is once you start getting, because it's 4 viruses. Once you start getting the other visors, the thing about this game is there's 2 spots where you're gonna have to flip between them really fast. That is Omega Pirate, and that is
Metroid Prime too.
Yeah, and Metroid Prime. So it's 3 places. It's 3 places. Spoilers for a 20-year-old game. 3 places. 3 places you have to switch real fast. But the thing is, I think it's gonna be fine because by the time you get to those spots, you will have more than enough time to get. Trust me, this game. The reason why it's as big and as long as it is because they prep you before you fight them bosses. You get prepped.
You do.
So you don't
and
have
you read up on what you're about to fight as well.
There is no excuse when you walk in that room with Omega with the elite pirate. There ain't no excuse when you get there.
Here's the other thing too. Once you read everything, you should not be scared because as you read everything, you realize they're afraid of you.
Yeah. Like once you start reading through like the space pirate stuff and this is the problem with like most people that claim they played the game that used to get mad at me. You start reading that stuff and they straight up tell you she's their Blade. You know how vampires are afraid of Blade? They are afraid of her. Matter of fact, the first things you read is they like the hunters made it on the planet. Get the hell off. That's the first thing they say.
And she's unaware of it until Metroid Dread. She doesn't even know she's this thing until Metroid Dread.
Because the Chozo scientists never told her.
Yeah.
They never told her about the visions they had about her. They never told her about what she was going to become. Because this game tells you they started receiving visions, but they didn't know what to make of it. And like the more you delve into this game, that's why scanning is so important. The more you delve into this game, they tell you the origin of Samus in a way.
Right.
Like outside the stuff that you don't know. They tell you her origin and basically how the Chozo was like, okay, we have to save her. She's the hatchling, we got to save her. And we got to train her. And then she becomes the hunter, which is basically the nightmare for the space pirates. And basically, she's a good guy Frieza.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But that makes me wonder when they started having them visions. Because you got to think of like, they had them before she was born.
Yeah, they did. Well,
then it comes down to the situation. No, but I'm just thinking the situation like when her planet was being attacked. Yeah. This is kind of like, well, if we get there to save the parents, cool. But if not, fuck them.
Yeah.
Talking about a super sentient race of beings that they understand cause and effect before cause and effect is even a concept for normal human beings. So they understand things at a sub-molecular level as far as like, hey, if we do this, then this will happen, or this will happen. Well, the gravity on this planet is like this, so maybe we should probably not. They're already like
That's why they didn't go to Talon 4
the solutions before they have a problem.
Yeah, that's why they didn't want to stay on Talon 4. They tell you, 1,000 Star, yeah, it gets real deep. Like the story is it's ridiculously deep.
Metroid is a lot deeper than people understand, and one of the reasons it got so deep is because of the Prime series.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is literally a lore dump, and all you're supposed to do is scan and kill things.
Yep.
Scan and kill.
The first two games is scan and kill. First two games is scan and kill. Corruption is more action adventure as opposed to just adventure.
Because you got people to talk to in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And like the other thing too about this game, y'all gonna, especially the people that love graphics and stuff, you're gonna love what they did with it because they overhauled damn near everything in there. I'm talking about to the lighting, to the particle effects, the stuff like you go into in the Talon 4 overworld, you go into the tree with the great hall where the tree is, and you can see the veins of the tree glowing.
Yep.
Wow. So what you're saying is Steam Deck users currently cannot play this game the way it is.
Oh yeah, they're probably emulate it. They're gonna emulate it. It's on.
They already have.
They're probably using.
They're already doing that.
They're already doing it. Now, here's my thing. This is what I want to see, and I'll take the time to see it. I want to see a Switch game be completed from start to finish on these emulators without a problem.
And then show all the tools, show all the back and forth, everything you had to go through to get it running stably.
I'm not doing that. I'm going to show you the first 15 minutes, and you're going to like it.
So that's usually how it works. Like, let me show you this area, because when we went through the whole Pokemon Scarlet and Violet thing, like, oh, this is what it looks like on Yuzu, where it's running through, it's super smooth, we're doing this, we're doing that. Show me the rest of the game, because I know with emulators, yes, there are certain areas that look good, but then you get into certain spots here and there, you get a little buggy, get a little glitchy.
I'll tell you from experience on non-emulated games built for PC that Valve made drivers for you to go play in a resolution specific to this device, 800p. Your mileage will vary. So imagine a game that was designed for another set of hardware that you're emulating, and then trying to get the same type of performance, and you're not gonna tweak anything. You're really okay. It just runs out of the box, huh? You sure? Emu Deck does all that for you? You sure? I don't know.
So for all hate mail, please send to shadowfoxinfinite@gmail.com.
If you send me hate mail, you got to come on the Shadowcast and talk to me.
Right. Because I think right now, what the only emulator that plays 100% games is what the Super Nintendo, like the SNES 9X.
I think so.
That doesn't even. Even. There's still some games that
Yoshi's Island and all that is still like trash. Like all those Mode 7 effects. Yeah.
Right.
It gets bad.
Yeah. So I mean, all in all, I hope they do the other two. I honestly hope they put them out. Because Corruption is actually my favorite out of the trilogy. Out of trilogy, Corruption is actually my favorite.
Thing is, I think that if they're doing them, they're not going to be for this Switch.
I'm about to say
no.
If this will keep going, it might be for the old one. It can just be played.
Or they'll be for this, but they'll be cross-platform.
Because I'm thinking all three of them probably gonna be cross-platform at this point. I do think that a lot of these games that are coming out is going to be cross-platform with whatever they're doing next.
Nintendo Switch Sports started it. Like Nintendo Switch Sports is like, okay, this is going to be 4K on another platform. Then you got Bayonetta 3, which is just like, the performance is kind of, because we're shooting for something else kind of right now, but we don't want to tell you yet. Like,
because that's going to be ascertained too. It's ascertained too. That's probably what they're doing. It's ascertained too. Everything Platinum been doing has been a testing ground for something.
Yeah.
That's because ascertained was a testing ground for Bayonetta 3. Go figure. But all right, let's jump into this Nintendo Direct. Because
there was a Direct.
Yeah, man. All right. So let me do it like this. All right. So I'm just gonna blurt out a title, and y'all tell me what y'all thought about it.
Okay.
Trash.
Pikmin 4.
Looks like Pikmin 3.
I like the name too. Yeah, damn.
I like the new camera angle. Like even with that small change, I can see it being something pretty nice along with this dog and the new.
Were they on Earth?
No,
It looked like
I don't know anymore.
they look like they were going somewhere else too.
I don't know anymore.
They don't really tell you.
Honestly, though, I'm just a little upset that they didn't pull a Rodea Sky Soldier with this and just do a Wii U version and release it at the same time. Because it was already
awesome.
They already told us. They literally told us at the end of the Wii U's life cycle that game was finished.
They did. Yeah.
The game was finished. I want to see what that version would have been like. That's all I'm upset about.
I mean, I'll buy a print copy for Wii U. I got 2 copies of Breath of the Wild on Wii U. I'll buy it. I will always buy something for Wii U. Something come out for Wii U, I'm buying it. I'm down.
Well, honestly, at this point, they could get away with it. A lot of people that closet Wii U fans would buy that.
Yeah.
I mean, just tell me it's dual screen support. I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, Pikmin 4, we got a thumbs up, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Disney Illusion Island.
That looks good. You know,
okay.
I think it looks
I
good.
didn't care for it.
Yeah, it looks like the family game kind of. I mean, it may be okay. It depends. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not so drawn into it anymore. It's just like Disney stuff kind of lost its luster for me.
Exactly.
I mean,
Epic Mickey was the last good one for me.
Yeah, like once Epic Mickey came out, everything else just.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like what did I say in the live stream? It looked like Rayman, like they tried to Rayman Legends.
It does. It does look like that. But Disney, if y'all would please just remaster Epic Mickey.
Yeah.
You know what happened? They gave up their one good studio, Avalanche.
Yeah. Well,
they fired them.
The other thing too is I don't like the art style. It reminds me of Battletoads too much.
Oh, I get that.
It just reminds me of Battletoads too much. I can't deal with that art style.
You talking about Saturday morning cartoon Battletoads, right?
Yeah, that bulls. That unfortunate game that I played. All right, so
that game has so much potential,
and they just screwed it all the way up. They just did. So, hey, you live, you learn, right? All right, so Samba de Amigo, Party Central.
That actually looks fun.
I'm always into these type of games.
That actually looks fun.
Okay. Like between this and you talk about like the Take-Two drum games, like the Elite Beat Agent games, whether you're not using any instruments or whatever. But I like games like that.
Okay, all right. Shadow, I know you probably gonna get that.
Samba de Amigo.
Yeah.
It depends. So I'm in the middle of looking for the family game to play. I finally conned the missus into playing more Switch games now. But she keeps playing Switch games that are PC games first. So she's playing like Dreamlight Valley right now, and that's a really bad port. Like you can clearly tell that what their PC buttons and the resolution is bad. I mean, but the game is fun to her, so I'm like you can just play more Animal Crossing.
Hey, look, we've already said it. It don't matter what it looked like if you enjoy it.
You're right. It's I hate that it's a game that's clearly not designed for the platform. Like I would rather that it be something that Switch can do great, and then that way, she has a better experience. But I see something like this being a decent part of like a rhythm game, because we haven't played a rhythm game here in a while. The last rhythm game we've played together is Dance Central. But I got to get to that. And I tried to play Dance Central Spotlight ever since Vicky brought it up a long time ago. I downloaded it, but we never played it together. So I wanted to try to get that going and see if she liked that one. But I could try this one to see how it goes.
You could sneak in some of them family game night games. Just snag up that.
Well, my thing is I don't have the motion controllers for Dreamcast, so I have some of the Amigo for Dreamcast, but I don't have.
You don't have
nah. You're just gonna be tapping buttons real fast.
Yeah, that's not a good. I mean, if that was the case, we could just play Dance Dance Revolution on the GameCube. Like we just do that, but yeah, I would rather play that with the Joy-Cons. You could just shake them, so that seems like it'll be something that'll be right up her alley. So I would say,
and you can actually feel the Moroccanness of them.
Yep. Oh yeah, HD Rumble and all that. Yeah.
Let's hope they use it.
I hope so.
Some people have been
lost
using
great technology.
Yeah. So somebody needs. I don't know. There's probably a Reddit for it, but somebody needs to review all the games that support HD Rumble, and how well it is. Because sometimes they'll say it's HD Rumble and it's really just Rumble. Right. Like, no, right. I need to feel like the depth of something.
It's just faster vibration.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Now this one is one that people have been complaining about, and they finally got a release date, and that's the Advance Wars 1-2 reboot camp.
I was surprised.
I was surprised at that one too.
You were surprised that it showed up, or we knew it was coming?
Surprised we got the date in this year, because I was just surprised.
And it's so soon. It's next month. Oh, well, 2 months from now.
2 months,
yeah. Well, I was under the impression they was only going to hold it for a couple of months because of the situation that happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it just drug out. So
yeah.
That's why I was like, okay.
Their roster was too full. They had nowhere else to place it, so they said, okay, let's move it to next year.
Yeah. That's usually the problem with Nintendo, though. They're like, hey, we got all these bangers. Where do we put them in the year where they at least sell something? So that's kind of like, that's probably the biggest problem they have. That's probably the greatest problem to have as a first party developer. But
basically,
I mean, Microsoft is like, they hate life right now.
Well, yeah, they hate life for a bunch of reasons. All right, so Atrian Odyssey Origins Collection, the announcement. This one, they didn't give us a date. They just gave us like summer 2023, so we don't have a straight up date, but they are putting the collection on. So
Chanel was all over this. This was he was excited about this one.
But that was his top pick. He said everything else was icing on the cake. That was
he talking about Style Savvy right now, and I'm like, that design game kind of looks like Style Savvy.
Fashion Dreamer.
That kind of looks just like it.
It does have a similar.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Kind of, I can see that. Now, Level 5 did drop some announcements, so let's talk Fantasy Life, Deca Police, and that Layton one.
Oh, Deca Police is the one.
I'm looking. I'm probably gonna pick that up.
Deca Police.
Deca Police getting bought. Deca Police is a day one.
That's getting bought. Yeah. And then Professor Layton,
because
whenever I get a date for Professor Layton, because for me, looking at Professor Layton, then you got Ace Attorney, and then Deca Police seems like it's in that bunch a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just now you got action to where you fight.
Yeah, this is like a JRPG. This is like a turn JRPG. So yeah. So
I'm just happy that they back. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
You think Professor Layton's going to be a while though, since that's their big tempo.
Yeah. Well, technically, since they don't have anything after Tears of the Kingdom releases,
right? Clearly,
But I mean, but keep on mentioning them in your hashtag though. Keep on putting Nintendo Direct in your hashtag. I mean, go figure, right?
Yeah. So
I mean, look, if Capcom is smart, they'll be like, okay, well, if Level 5 is doing this, let's go ahead and put that crossover.
Yeah, the crossover
on the Switch too.
Might as well. I mean,
go ahead and do it
at this point, because I now that was a surprise I wasn't expecting to see was Professor Layton. I didn't think we were getting that. And it's a new one. It's not even it's a new one. It's a brand new one. So I'm like, okay. All right. So, I got to talk about the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass. Because here's the part that pissed me off. How are you going to sit up there and show us Giga Chad Rex and not Noah and pretentious ass Alvis and not give me a full on trailer?
Yeah.
You didn't expect that?
No, I wanted a trailer. I didn't expect Giga Chad Rex, all right?
If they're not
nobody did
X and they need to finish up 3, how is this going to end?
I mean,
Alvis has
let's be real though. Rex did end off his game with a prime situation.
Prime situation. Yeah, that's the other reason why people hate that game.
Maybe that's how he became Giga Chad.
Yeah, that's how he became Giga Chad.
Rex got me making damn. I'm questioning life choices at this point.
My man is studying with Piccolo.
The end of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Listen, the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the origin of Giga Chad Rex.
Actually, real talk, I would not mind if they gave him Piccolo's voice. You really want to, you know what I'm saying?
He's by himself for like an hour.
I can't see that voice come out of that body. But if he had a voice similar to like Zero does and Mega Man,
which is cold,
I'll go with that.
Well, so let me ask you. So, do you think we're really gonna have to fight Alvis?
Probably.
He's got to die.
Yeah, because I just remember, like, so essentially getting to the end of XC3, Klaus is dead. So if Klaus is dead, then first of all, how the hell is Alvis alive? But since he's alive, we probably got to kill him.
Well, remember, he's more than just.
Was he on that ship?
Right? What was Klaus doing originally at that time? Like, he started a process, and that process is still ongoing, regardless of whether or not.
But was Alvis one of the people that was on that ship, though? That's what I want to know. When they found
in X?
No, when they found the conduit, was he one of those scientists that was on that ship? Because remember, everybody, because something ain't right. Because remember how there's always a Vandal. Vandal was on that ship. Mm-hmm. There's always, there's certain things that's always in these games, and that's why I freaking love and hate these Nopon, especially the 1 and 3, Riku.
Riku know everything.
Yeah, I think the Nopon are aware of Xenosaga shit at this point, because they seem to be aware of things beyond what life holds contain.
Yeah.
Like Zohar for all you Xenosaga people.
Yeah.
And then you got like the freaking Nopon Arcsage, his trifling behind.
They're just like fourth wall break, guys. We know what's going on. We're not gonna tell you though. Like
David, we don't know. We just know.
Yeah. Now they did say something cool about the expansion, and that's that they got a couple more things that they're releasing on the 15th, and they have roguelike elements to it. Now I don't really mind that. Y'all know how I feel about roguelites. I'm not really hyped in it, but if you're giving me, because I don't really see it as a roguelike, I really see it as like a survival mode. The way they're talking, it's more like a survival mode. I don't think it's like roguelike. I think it's more like survival. I won't know until I get it, until I play it. But
like a battle mode with tiers, basically.
Yeah, basically. So it looks interesting. They added some new costumes, so I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to it. But the thing is, they do show you that 30 seconds of Rex. Shulk, and I don't think that's Noah. I think that's a descendant of Noah, because he said something about his grandpa. You watch grandpa die, so I think that's a descendant of Noah. And all three of them, I'm guessing they're all gonna have to team up. Xenoblade Warriors, anybody?
Anybody? Point might as well.
Anybody?
You've been pushing that issue for a minute,
but I mean, a descendant of Noah essentially is a descendant of. I mean, spoilers for a Euro game, but
I mean, that's what I'm saying. At this point, I don't, because at first I had to go back and re-listen to it, and he does say, "You think you're gonna kill Grandpa and get away with it?"
Yep.
And I'm like, "You don't look like Noah." And then I'm like, "You look like Noah, but you don't," because Noah didn't have earrings, didn't have two earrings in his ear. So I'm like, okay, that's a little bit different, but I'm actually looking forward to it. Alvis looks as pretentious as ever, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to that one. Okay, we did hear about the Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass. I'm
got mad about
there on that.
The man said Faye Part 2. Oh Jesus, you taking it all the way back.
Yeah.
He taking it back to the original event.
That's my guy, man. I just wish they would just bring him back just once, please.
I mean, Xenoblade Warriors, man. Xenoblade Warriors, no, Xenoblade Warriors.
Let him do
no problems touching all the way back to that game. Like,
let him do the stretch. Let him do the stretch. Like I'm here.
Let's
we know what this game is. We know it wasn't on the Nintendo platform. Here you go. Here's a screenshot.
Let's do it. Let's do just a quick workshop on this, because I think honestly there is everything in place for a Xenoblade Warriors game to happen.
There is.
You got the Nopon who basically time travel and dimension hop, who break the fourth wall like Deadpool on a regular basis.
Yep.
You have tons of legendary. You have tons of legendary characters with legendary weapons that people want to see again.
Elma.
You have
the person that wasn't involved in this one.
You have big battles that happen on a regular basis, whether it be a large-scale sad war or people fighting gigantic monsters and robots. So you got the options there. Now that would make me wonder, would they put scales in it? And if they did,
I think they should put.
I mean, you could really. What was it in the game?
What was it in Gears? What was it? Were they Gears? They were literally.
Yeah, they were Gears. You know.
Yeah, that'd be.
So I mean, they got everything they need, and on top of that, they borrow characters from their past work anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ears, dolls, scales, whatever you want to call them. They're, Mekon.
Go ahead, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now this next
And just
game,
let it be like a cynical Nopon is the reason that it all happened.
Yeah,
We just wanted to see a big
he
fight.
was there from the beginning.
Just let it be Darkseid. Just let it be Darkseid. Just let it be him.
Yeah, because he really knows everything.
Yeah, it makes the most sense to just have him be like whatchamacallit from Dragon Ball Super, Zeno.
Yep,
be like that.
Oh, yeah.
I sent this black snot guy to go attack Melia 10,000 years before she moved into Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, so now this next game, I know I only played the first one, so I never got a chance to play the second, so I will be picking this one up. Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD remaster is coming.
I put that in the chat.
Retro Death went wild. Retro Death went wild. He was waiting for that.
That game ain't no joke, bro. Like
let's be real, my man been asking for that for a while.
He really has.
But if y'all talking about a game that does a plot twist, bruh, out of nowhere, you don't expect it in an early 2000-ish GameCube game. You don't see it coming. And then you're like, wait, what? Hey, what? So the whole time and then what? And then in the second game, you're like, you find out reasons why and how it led up to everything, because the second game is a prequel. It's just bad. It's bad, but it's bad in a way like Monolith writes stuff from a 1,000-foot tower and they put you underground. That's basically what they do. And they're like, you're never gonna find out what's up here. That's what they do. I would not be surprised if Baten Kaitos is somehow linked to Xenoblade in some way.
Let me ask you this: Do you think if this game sells well, that they'll
get a 3?
Yeah.
They'll get that third story that everybody's waiting on.
Yeah, so the rumor was 3 was a project originally for either the 3DS or the Wii HD then at the time, which was being pitched around.
Yeah.
And Wii HD, I don't mean Wii U. I mean Wii wasn't going to be standard definition.
Yeah, it was going to be HD at one point. Yeah.
So there's a thing where Baten Kaitos 3 would have been a thing, and it was going to be a continuation of what happened after the first game. So that would have been the continuation of, I'll just say it, Malpercio. And then if you play the game, you'll know who Malpercio is and what actually is happening. So it's just one of those things where Monolith, again, they know how to tell a story, and they know how to. Their thing is they know that the best way to get somebody invested into something is to let your mind fill in the pieces, and they'll fill in little bits here and there, and then you enjoy the process of, ooh, that means this. They know how to do it. They know how to leave the breadcrumbs for you instead of follow me to the next cutscene. Oh my God, we're in a fatal funnel and they're all shooting, and I think this guy at the end that I'm following is gonna betray me at the end in every single Call of Duty game.
Shadow, you're forgetting to mention Tony Todd.
Sorry, they know how to write it, and it's fun to me that they're able to do it in different genres too. Like Baten Kaitos is a card game.
Yeah,
how they were able to make it happen in something like that, and then your quote unquote your worlds, they're FMVs. You're running over FMVs and talking to people, and then you eventually go into battles, and then you playing the battles or whatever, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And then they tell you story over text, and then the way they're able to do it is just different from games that have way better production value. So they just have that talent. I don't know how. And you're talking about a game essentially loosely converted from Japanese, because NOA, as we know it, were in their infancy. They weren't doing all the cool stuff like they were doing in the Mario and Luigi games then at that time. So they were just like straight up Japanese to English, and even the Japanese straight Japanese to English translation still made sense. So it's just I don't know, man. They're just ahead of their time. That much I will say. And there's a reason why Nintendo bought them straight up after Baten Kaido's Origins.
Don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame
they're like,
them.
you did this with what budget? Okay.
Yeah. It's been working out for them ever since. So,
would you like more money?
Yeah. So this next one, I'm just gonna ask y'all: should it get a demo? Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. I think it needs to get a demo.
Besides the little thing that they showed off, it needs an actual demo.
It needs a demo because it's completely different from the formula of all of the other games.
And on top of that, like what they give you in that game in Bayonetta 3, that's not a demo. That's like a first look. Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what anything does. So,
kind of like Forbidden in it, huh? Or Forspoken in it, huh? Oh.
No, well, what I'm saying is like when you open because I guess they wanted you to get the look of the game of what it's gonna look like and stuff. But like there's like really because you don't fight with her. You don't.
Right.
And really you don't the stuff you do with her is interacting with the actual world/story because it looks like storybook. So this one actually needs a demo, in my opinion.
Yeah. So the funny thing is
doing all the work. Like you use
Cheshire's doing all the work.
Cheshire's doing all the work, but you have to do certain stuff on the side. So you're basically playing at the same time. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, it has that look, but I have a feeling it plays somewhat like the Wonderful 101.
Probably, I guess, because like once
101 was also a demo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, RJ, it technically is, but it technically isn't because it's more like this is an idea of what we're doing. It's not like a demo.
Like a proper demo.
Yeah. Well, I'm finna explain what the next game I'm going to. That got an actual demo. Octopath Traveler 2. You should play it, by the way.
Yeah.
I need to download it. I just did.
I downloaded it, but have not played it yet.
I did the first hour of the Hikari story. Of course, just like Octopath Traveler 1, you only get to play 3 hours. Once you hit that 3-hour limit, your game will, if you already purchased it, your game will go over to the main game. So I'm doing Hikari because I did Hikari because I like samurais. So Chanel was in there. He knows.
I'm gonna do the same.
Chanel was in there. He knows. So yeah, I was enjoying that. So that one, Octopath Traveler, but y'all know how man, them HD 2D games have been off the chain. Team Asano has been doing their thing, man. I cannot. They deserve all the praise. They are not.
Let Square Enix screw up with them once, and Nintendo will snatch them right up.
They will. So, because like Project, what is it? Triangle Strategy.
When they gonna team up with Monolith to remake Xenogears?
That's what I'm wondering.
Like, just be a thing.
Hold on, who has that though? Who has the license?
It's still Bandai.
Square Enix,
is it?
Yeah, it's Square and Bandai.
Oh, so both of them have it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that one, if you haven't had a chance to play Octopath Traveler 2, try to demo out. Like I said, if you are a fan of those old school SNES type games, and even if you're not, if you like JRPGs, just give it a try. It's a demo. Yeah. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's free to download, so just give it a try. Okay, so this one is probably gonna piss some people off, but hey, it is what it is. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
That actually looks fun to me.
Yeah, and then they gave you some extra content too. So
end of the game content, which
Then again, I'm also a person who understands what Kirby is and enjoys it for what it is.
Okay.
I don't complain about the game not having a difficulty setting when they add in things that you can optionally do to make the game more difficult for yourself.
It's not meant to be. I keep telling people the Kirby games are not meant to stress you out.
No.
They're not.
But if you want that challenge, if you want the challenge, the options are always there.
Yeah. But like me, I like the way the trailer looked. The actual gameplay element that they added, where like you got to get Maglore's powers back, that was interesting. That's kind of interesting. So, I mean, I'm probably not gonna pick it up day one just because it's too much other stuff coming out. So
right.
That's probably going to be a down the line thing. So there's that. All right. So Sea of Stars.
That looks dope.
Cool.
I thought this game was that big came out though. I thought this game was when they came out like last year or something. Did it get pushed back?
I thought I heard of it before. Didn't they get announced like previously in another?
Yeah, it got announced in a direct like last year or the end of 2021. I can't remember.
Definitely,
because I thought it was supposed to have been out by now, and so I completely forgot about it. But they dropped the trailer for Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars looks good. It's another one of those if you're into the old school SNES JRPG style. So
I swear that's the Chrono Trigger fix right there.
It probably is.
That's
it looked like it. It looked like it.
So I don't know. I mean, because look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I would love to get a Chrono Trigger, anything like a remaster or HD 2D. I don't care at this point. I would love to get it. I just don't think we're gonna get it.
I don't even want to see it because I don't want to hear the stupidness. I really don't. I'd rather save myself the trouble and let's live on this legend that Chrono Trigger could possibly be still the best RPG out
of all time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I go back and forth between those. But.
Did you? What about the Dead Cells? How'd y'all feel about that DLC?
I mean,
because we know
Dead Cells. It's just with Castlevania skins on it.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with that. When is that Castlevania anime coming out? So I'm like, stop showing Richter and damn Alucard. If y'all don't give me a release date, Netflix. But now, other than that, Dead Cells I couldn't really get into, but I have enjoyed their promotion and marketing for it. They've done a good job. Plus, like they actually I ain't gonna say remade the themes, but they did do their own twist on the themes. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But you played the other games like that, right? You played like the Messenger and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
I played Messenger. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying it's fun. It's just I haven't had, dude. Once again, too much stuff out. So
I mean, if you own a Switch, like you're not gonna have enough time or money.
No, you don't. So
and if you have the money, you don't have the time. So
yeah, because it is what it is. Because like I work every day, so. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there were some people posting like for people that love RPGs, how the hell are y'all finishing all of these games?
Facts.
You're not.
On average like 100 a piece. Like
unless the game plays itself, unless you put it down and it do all the fights and all the work for you.
Now, to be fair, some of these games do have an option where you can actually have an auto battle. They do that.
Wow.
Now with some of the RPGs I've played, I've had to just basically like set aside a day and just that's it. That's all I'm playing. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. There was a couple days where I just set aside a couple Saturdays and Sundays. That's all I played the whole day.
Man, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a lifestyle.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, especially in Atlanta Challenge, it's a lifestyle.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that's how I got through that. But like most games, the problem with me in most games is my ADHD takes over. So, like Metroid Prime, I did not know Metroid Prime Remaster was going to drop.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was supposed to be playing Trek to Yomi. I was supposed to be playing finishing up Sonic Frontiers. I was supposed to be finishing up some other stuff. The hell with that.
Man, I'm over here testing out Tetris, like local player, like trying to get the misses in there so we can play our little old school with no cables. Like you could just come on, man. Like that's the thing. Like I think that's the biggest thing that people didn't really promote out of this direct is like, man, you don't need Game Boy cables now, right? Like
you don't.
You can just play these games and link up and get it going.
So this is what I'm going to ask y'all about this because I'm saving that for last on purpose. Is the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance announcement?
That was a smart move.
It was a smart move, but can I? I'm probably gonna sound like really hatery right now. I promise you it ain't hate. Why can't we get a GameCube?
Because we told you why you're not.
Only thing I can say is file sizes.
I was gonna say is because they know they can sell those games individually.
It's too close.
As soon as they make an HD like Prime, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, they can turn those into singular games and still sell them.
They've done 3. They've done Twilight Princess, which was on Wii as well, but still it was on GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Wind Waker and Metroid Prime, the first one. That's it.
But even then, the way I look at it is GameCube. A lot of those games still hold up, so I wouldn't waste it over on a virtual console when I can just
make the money on it.
Revive them, yeah, it doesn't make sense to because anything with that 6th gen on, yeah, I would just remake that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we know why they didn't do it for Wii U because
there was no.
I think at some point they were going to release a firmware update where you could play GameCube games on it.
I mean, you sold GameCube controllers,
right?
The disk drive could read them. It was just the firmware was like, no, I don't like this. It's spits it back.
That's basically what it was.
Get the shit out of me.
You could literally hack the firmware and it'll read them and play them like just fine. You don't have to do mods and download ROMs and all that. You can just mod the firmware and stick the disc in and play it.
Yeah,
but I mean, honestly,
because at one point they were going to do it.
Yeah, but I said you could just Wii U it to where we saw the Wii U games are selling like hotcakes. You were saying them with GameCube, it didn't sell well as a console, but the games were on point. Now there are a lot of games that I'm pretty sure we all remember that can't come over due to licensing issues, but that was the main problem with 6th generation. Like a lot of those third-party games and other games, like licensing issues galore.
Yeah, especially especially a lot of the B team games. Yeah, like a lot of 2K games. The studios that 2K owns now. When they made those B tier games back then, like those games were either lost to time or to get the original licenses for the properties that they did these for, like movies and TV shows. A lot of those games, like the older Harry Potter games, like I think that was EA. I think had the license for those in at the time. Like just stuff like that is just hard to come by.
Because EA had Lord of the Rings, they had Harry Potter, they had another one. They had the licenses too, and that was why like you're not gonna get like thank you EA for getting rid of Tiburon, dumbasses.
All right.
Hey, they in the news again with they smart selves with that PGA Tour game. Talking about some weather is coming later. I was like, are you serious?
Weather is coming later, so every day is just going to be sunny and bright. Wow.
Weather was in the PS1 games. That was the whole thing. You're like, you got this digitized photorealistic thing or whatever, and it changed based on what kind of weather you had. Like,
because what's that one golf thing, the one in Britain that's known for having like messed up wind, like ridiculous ass wind, and they had that in there. I remember that.
They put the wind curve in there.
Yeah.
They put that in PGA Tour way back then. Like, why are we?
And you're gonna have all those elements except for the actual element to make all those elements count.
Yeah.
Hey, the wind is moving.
They just do what they want to do, man.
Yeah,
because it's not even like they don't have golf competition because 2K23 just came out not too long ago.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's my only defense for the Zelda situation too. For all intents and purposes, this looks like this is going to be a 32 gig cart as well. So
it was 18 gigs. They already put the thing up online. It's 18
that's another
gigs.
Witcher 3 situation where Nintendo's like, we got to pay for these extra ROM prices or whatever, and we're going to do. Do you really think Nintendo is only going to print like 1 million of those?
How much did that wind up selling? 25, 28 mil?
Yeah,
I think
28 mil. Yeah.
It's up there.
So do you really think Nintendo's only going to print 1 million of those cartridges at high volume? Come on, man. They got to spend a lot of money up front to get these games out here because they know it's going to sell a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially like with people clamoring for it. They already clamoring for it.
Which is more than I can say for a Blu-ray disc that can be printed for pennies. Yeah. And you still don't put the whole game on there. You like Call of Duty 72 megs, bro. What are we doing?
Well, because Call of Duty is like the game itself. Like if you get the whole thing with the campaign and the
it's over 100.
It's 286.
100 gigs.
It's
but
200.
At least put
186.
But you print 100 gig. You make 100 gig disc, right? And then you put 72 megs on it. What was the point of that?
Yeah,
you wasted a high capacity disc that another publisher could have purchased. Like what? Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
I mean, even
that could have been a CD.
even Ubisoft with the Division and Final Fantasy VII Remake, even Avengers, they all came out at 90 gigs. We're not even talking about what happened after patches and DLC. That's 90 base. So that's why I always laugh when I keep hearing people with the whole digital versus physical argument say, "Oh, well, what you gonna do when those servers shut down?" Like, what are you gonna do? Because the whole game ain't on the disc.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get it neither. What you mean?
Yeah, we in the same boat.
Real bad at preservation.
Yeah,
real bad.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's like
thing is
around DRM.
My thing is, what are people going to do when they ain't got no hard drive space?
Yeah. Show of hands on this panel. What Nintendo games have y'all lost over time? What game can you not play right now? That's on.
Not anymore. Oh, 0. Oh, wait, there is one.
Published by Nintendo.
And that was Eternal Darkness, because they told me in my game as I was insane that my card wasn't reading. So I hit the power button. I was lied to.
They got everybody with that
on the button.
They got everybody with that one.
I don't think they can pull that off again, because if you try that nowadays, people are too damn gullible. Like, there's no way you can pull that off.
You saw people jumping. I ain't gonna lie. One time I was playing so long on Eternal Darkness, it said it was erasing my memory card. I dove across the coffee table trying to get my card out.
In 2006, there were videos of people destroying their screens with Wii remotes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's only worse in 2023.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah. Well,
I mean, you could, but the whole point of an Eternal Darkness is to play on your gullibility.
Yeah, plays.
Which is, but then now we got social media. It's like, oh, my game broken. Like it was supposed to.
But here's the way that they can screw with people with an Eternal Darkness. If Nintendo allows certain apps to be put on their platform anyway, let the game open up random apps, like not the actual app, but like random things that look like the apps that you're playing. Just put something minor or insignificant in there that somebody could notice to say, okay, we're still in the game.
You're on TikTok.
But for people that aren't playing it, people that are playing it, you're so in the moment, you're probably not going to notice it unless you look out for those types of things. Or have it go back to the home screen and let it scroll through the games that you have listed and say, okay, do you want to start this game? Close up the menu and start this game while you're trying to play.
So
people will fall for it.
YouTube and social media would kill that game?
Probably.
Because
look,
like people already know what's going to happen, so there's no surprise there.
Well, you'd have to change the insanity effects up to the. But remember, you already got games.
It would have to be a randomizer.
Yeah, well, because you got games like Phasmophobia and a couple other games that actually try to do that. So
it could happen either way, because look at the response to Animal Crossing in 2020 though. Like that game is, I don't want to say nothing special, but that game is not going out there to try to mess with your brain. But it became like this phenomenon because people started playing together and started doing things outside of official Nintendo channels. Like,
and we boycotted it.
Yeah, of course. That's the only way it works. You gotta boycott it. That's the only way it can be successful. So,
hence why
thank you, Helena Taylor.
Hence why Tears of the Kingdom is about to break the bank.
Yep.
They already started. This is about to, Nintendo like we about to make bank, baby.
Hey, I think it'd be an interesting concept to be worth playing on. And then, like you said, to be a randomizer, seeing as we got this whole roguelike randomized games that's here and there, like no one will have the same experience. Like, hey, you went through this level, like it made you go back to a home screen, but then if you went to this area, it kind of pulled up a Wii home screen, like it's something crazy.
That's all. Like I
would have Joy-Con drift built into the game.
Don't do that.
Oh boy, that's foul.
You're gonna have nightmares. Don't do
that's
that.
Foul.
But because I would do this just to gauge interest, and I would either remaster. I would probably remaster Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, and see how that does. See how that performs.
Right.
Cause I know Dyke tried to get like a Kickstarter. Dyke tried to get a Kickstarter going like years ago, but it failed. But I'm like
that failed because of his reputation.
Yeah, his reputation.
And Shadow of the Eternals as well. It's just a bad scenario all the way around.
Yeah. So my thing is, if I'm them, I'm like, okay, my pitch to Nintendo would be, okay, let's remaster it. Let Grizo or one of your other teams remaster it. Mm-hmm. Let's put it out, see how it does. If the sales are there, we can move forward. We got something working on. We can move forward.
Yeah, I thought I was foul with saying Joy-Con drift would be built into the game. I would make it get worse progressively as your insanity goes down.
Thank you for now invoking the anger.
the worse your insanity meter is, you try to pull the opposite direction to stop your character from going that way, they just go anyway. It is an extremely slow, snail-like pace. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Until the effect is over, because that's the other good thing about the Eternal Darkness. Like, the effect didn't last long, but it was long enough to make you think you were losing your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, 15 seconds of that slow Joy-Con drip would piss everybody off.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, it would. Okay. Wow. We're at an hour 55.
Good times. Good times.
Good times. It happens sometimes. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. So thank you, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you for stopping through. Don't forget to like, share, all the other good stuff. Thank you for joining us on this special Saturday edition of the Wingin podcast. I hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow. Have fun and all that other good stuff. So, Shadow, anything you want to pimp out before we get out of here?
Man, channel's not dead. It's alive. It's starting next week. So just yeah, if you stop following me, fuck you. And then I'll have my channel back up. We'll just go from there. If you block me, thank you for unblocking me, because everybody blocks me, unblocks me, and it is what it is. So yeah, you play games, have fun, and to impress other people. I am currently playing games to impress other people. So
okay, Sandstorm.
Let's see. Oh man, I gotta go down my line. What's today? Saturday. Later today we got a sandcast. Now I'm saying it wrong. We have a stormcast later tonight. Don't specifically know what time, because we are supposed to be watching the show. Me and Mr. Sandstorm, and I can't tell you the name of the show, but I can tell you that it's actually good. It's on Netflix, and it involves two kids and being detectives of ghosts of some kind or whatever. It's in like the top 5 or top 10 or anyway. So we will have a Stormcast tonight. I was gonna play a demo of something or other on there. I don't know if I actually will, but I will definitely be playing more of Hogwarts, because that is fun. And now my brother and his wife and his daughter are all watching. They really want to play the game, but they have PS4, so they just enjoy all of that.
It'll be out in April.
They'll still get a chance.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we don't have Wingin podcast, so on Monday I will be on the Jill and probably talking more hype about Hogwarts Legacy, as everybody tries to rip me a new one on that. But I'm the person who cares the least. So. And then Fridays, Trey Vito has his show, and last week or yesterday he did a live reaction for Creed 3 and
John Wick.
Thank you, John Wick 4. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for him as well, and the like. Support him and support all the other guys, both here. And on the Jill, and me too. You ain't got to support me, but make sure you support everybody else. That's my spiel.
All right, Andre.
I mean, honestly, just look out for me spreading common sense. That's about what's going to happen. I'm about to spread common sense to the masses in ways that's going to hurt people's feelings, that they are going to be so deep down depressed that they're going to hate me and be mad enough to do the exact opposite of ending the life, and that's trying to prove me wrong. There we go.
Oh, you mean Capcom?
Street Fighter 7?
I mean, listen, they already stole a bunch of my ideas.
Right.
The rest of them.
Boy, China Lee, boy.
I'm going to admit I am a little tight that they took so many ideas that I put out in that podcast. Not the ones that matter.
It only happened because I didn't respond back. I should have responded back with another podcast, and that's my fault. So therefore, they
told you they were listening, man. When they started, I told you they were listening.
I was like, if anybody's listening to this, just do me a favor and go back and listen to my Street Fighter 6 podcast with Jay. And then go and look at all of the trailers for Street Fighter 6 and tell me they did not go verbatim, damn it. Everything I said.
You just got to walk outside the house after you do a podcast and look up for the Chinese drones, man.
Yep. That's all you got to do.
You know they're out there, bro. Like, I don't.
I'm just like that. That got me so tired. It's like you brought back dramatic battles. You did creative characters. You brought back the world tour mode. You brought back some of the characters I even asked for, but you could not fucking make Sean the main character. Why?
I'm gonna need you to make a video about Killer Instinct 3. I need that like today. And Cameo too. Like I told
you that's not gonna happen.
All right, hold on. I thought I did a video for Cameo too. Maybe I did.
Did you?
I thought I did.
I don't think you did. I think you talked about
that's a bigger cliffhanger than Xenoblade.
I probably talked about doing it and forgot to do it. But
yeah, I think you talked about
that was on the docket. but I'm sorry but I'm not sorry for being sour at Capcom for taking my ideas and not fully utilizing them.
They just said, convert that entire podcast to Japanese.
Except Sean. We're not using Sean.
We're not going to use Sean as a main character. We're not going to bring Alex back as a main character. We're not going to use Sakura as a main character.
But we'll use
We're going to take Luke from Street Fighter 5, who nobody fucking knows, and make him a main character.
Yep, that is true.
That's the future.
Well, that's how they go skip that lawsuit. So hey, we ain't take all his ideas.
Right.
We only took 80% of it.
Yeah, we only took 80%.
But we needed that, Andre, because had they not have stolen that, then the memo wouldn't have leaked with them and Sony saying everything that we already knew, that Sony basically buying exclusivity, even for games that weren't exclusive.
Yeah.
So
Jim Ryan for the win.
So we appreciate you.
All right, Jack.
You need to appreciate me with some dollars.
I have the video up going over the FAQ for the PSVR 2 that's already up. I plan on doing another video about some of the price points because they're starting to release the prices of the games, which look like they're pretty fair. Minus Call of the Mountain. Like, you shouldn't be charging $60 for that game. But anyway, that's besides the point. But so doing that, and then also getting a lot of love and support of the song that I did with TJ the Gamer. So I definitely appreciate everybody going through
amazing
that. Check
hot.
Yeah. That's the sort of music. Y'all follow that.
Yeah,
appreciate it. So definitely doing all of that, and then I'm teetering back and forth. Y'all may see some PSVR 2 content, or you may not. I'm just really, really scratching my head with this damn $600 price.
I was about to say, how much is it now?
Well, you'll be crazy not to get it without Call of the Mountain, because like with like if you got the console, got the PSVR 2 is $550. If you went and bought Call of the Mountain separately, it's $60. So then if you get it with the bundle, it's $600. So they save you like what, $10, $20.
Yeah. So you might as well.
Exactly. So then I'm going back and forth about it. So honestly, what I wanted to do was wait until Meta says something about the Quest 3. Because apparently that's supposed to be this year, and that way I don't have to worry about purchasing games because all my content transfers over. So I mean, maybe, I don't know. I gotta get like a hefty bonus somewhere for me to just say, hey, look, you know what? I just want to screw off on some money, but I can think of 1,000 other things I could do with $600. But other than that, I mean, if I don't get one, I mean, I'll still cover the games and the content based off of what's shown and what's put out there. A lot of content creators have started getting their preview bundles and getting them now. A lot of them are not even VR content creators. They're just very popular, kind of like your the ones that mainly cover smartphones. Yeah, they got
Marquez Brownlee, those kind of people.
Yeah. I was like, why? Like they don't even review none of that stuff. But then you got some big VR content creators that didn't even get preview units.
They have
so
like, that's why. But yeah.
So we'll see. I'm interested to see it. I want to see it succeed. And then for anybody that does see it, the video content that's going around as GT7 on PSVR 2, that is not GT7. That is another racing game that's on PC VR. So they out here trying to hype this thing up as much as possible, and it's not working. If Sony's not doing it, you're not going to do it. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
All right, so I put some gameplay up, like I said, of Octopath Traveler 2, the demo. I went through a gameplay of Hikari, the first hour. Got some gameplay up of Metroid Prime Remastered, the first hour of that. Doing something called Let's Do This Quietly. That's going to be my silent shows. So that'd be no commentary stuff. So y'all get to see the game and how it plays and how it sounds. Other than that, I'm going to try and either I got a couple vids coming that I hope I am able to do next week. I'm trying to get Rob Rules to Review to come do a first impressions of Metroid Prime remastered sometime next week. So hopefully we can get that squared away so we can knock that out. We're gonna do it. Let's talk lifestyle. So we'll do it like that, huh?
I want to play.
Okay, cool. If you want to come in, that's fine by me. Once we get that squared away, I'll let everybody know on Twitter and on the community tab. So please be checking back with that. Also, if you haven't had a chance to, please check. Please join the Discord. We're going to be having our Q&A episode coming up shortly, and we're going to need some questions. So we have a channel already up on the Discord that you can ask us a question. So that's going to be coming in the near future. Did a poll for it, and guess what? Y'all said yes.
So hey, there you go. And we got to do some limits because I got a feeling Vicky gonna come in and raid.
Of course.
The area.
Of course.
That's probably gonna be probably need to talk about that. But but that's all I got. Just like I said, follow everybody here, like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff. Thank you guys once again. I cannot thank you enough for hanging with us, chilling with us. We are very, very grateful, and we're grateful for the growth and everything as well. So we will see you guys next Sunday for the podcast. So have a good night. Enjoy the Super Bowl or whatever else you're going to do. Play some Metroid Prime, play some Ghost of Tsushima, play something. Just have some fun, man. It should be a fun hobby, not a drama-filled hobby. So enjoy yourself. And we'll see you guys.
Wait. Unless that drama is between me and Capcom.
Yeah, he has a very good reason for that. But other than that, we will see you guys later. Peace out, peoples.
Peace.
Later.
Peace, everybody. Okay.